I used to live a life of crime. I made a lot of mistakes just like you at home. I've learned that money, power and fear doesn't count for nothing. Being a barber gets you access to all kinds of people. Unfortunately, sometimes the wrong ones. I'm Jay Adams. I can't change the past, but I will change the future. The young Czech people are heavily influenced by the UK scene. They almost see it like a movie. I've brought Patrick, who has never left the Czech Republic, to witness firsthand that the movie also has a dark side. I moved to Bournemouth when I was 18 years old, so a long time ago.
Young age.
Very young age, bruv. Yeah, I left London and came down here to Bournemouth and, you know, started a new career. What you see now is a really beautiful Bournemouth, yeah? You see all the tourists are down there swimming, they're in the water, the sun's shining, but it has got a dark side too, you know, and you're going to learn about that today as well.
Okay.
This place is Sandbanks. And it's actually one of the most expensive places to own a house. When I was your age, that's when I was living here, running around selling drugs, owned 2 barbershops, selling counterfeit goods, credit card scams, the lot, bruv, you know. It was a mad time in my life, you know. I was young, hungry, just moved down from London. When you're young, everything's about ego, you know. Everything's about, I've got to be the biggest man in the town, I've got to be the best barber, I've got to be the best this, I've got to be the best that, I've got to have the fastest car and the biggest house. And do you know what, bruv? As you get older, you realise that none of that means shit. It's just material things, you know. I guarantee you now, where we've just driven there'll be people who have got fucking million times more money than us, but they're unhappy, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And this is the aspect that it's one of the aspects I'm trying to teach you now, bringing you here. My vision is that if I can show you how not to do things, you can learn how to do things quicker. I took Patrick to see Jamal, one of my old students who has travelled the world and now has a successful barbershop teaching his own students, just like I did for him 10 years ago.
I've been cutting hair since I was 13. Obviously I think I got inspiration from you when you was working at Shaggy's.
Where it says Shaggy's Barbershop, that's actually the first shop I worked in.
So that was the place to go, and he was the person to see. He almost introduced that kind of style of cutting, the skin phase, the patterns, which he did, and no one was doing it.
And I remember I was on £5.50 per hour.
Really?
£5, yeah. You didn't get paid like cuts or how many cuts you do. Back then it was...
Not per hour.
I've done a few shops locally, moved to Dubai and actually started cutting hair there. But yeah, best experience I've ever had. That kind of, when I was there, because I found being here there was so many put-offs. It's kind of like my second home now. I do want to try go there like a year, once or twice a year. The whole time I was there, all I was thinking about is coming here and doing this basically, opening my shop.
In Czech Republic, you won't be able to get a job in a barbershop because you have to have a qualification to get a license. It's like America.
Oh really?
Yeah, bruv, yeah. So you have to do the qualification. But I nearly didn't even get one myself, so I had a UK certificate and not a Czech one.
Oh, really?
So that was hard for me. Yeah, I've been cutting hair 20 years. Yeah. Barbering's like it's a lifestyle, isn't it?
No, it's
not even a job, bruv.
No.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a hobby.
I'm glad to see Jamal is using the same training techniques I used to use on him. Obviously, the old school discipline still works. Welcome, this is our first meeting for the Barber Movement and for you guys to start your barber career. It's great, thank you Adela, Kyle, Patrick. Fucking time is this, mate?
Yeah. 10 minutes. Sorry, man.
10 minutes? Fucking hell, you take the piss, bruv. Every time. Come late, man. Fucking hell, mate. Just sit down and go to sleep, bruv. Fucking hell.
Basically today, we're just gonna keep everything casual and we're like a small family here, you know, that's how we run the business here. When you come through that door, you're my responsibility. I take you personally as my responsibility to make sure that you're not only doing well in work, but you're doing well outside of work also.
How long will it take to train us? How long is the course going to be?
Okay, good question, and I'm sure all of you would like to know the same thing. It's not a competition, it's about each individual coming on. Like, it might take you 6 months, it might take Dominic 12 months, it might take Adela 2 years. The point that I'm looking for is not how fast you become a barber, it's how good a barber you become and how well you fit into the team. Everybody, if they're a good member of the team, I'll kill someone for them. I'll go to the death and I'll make sure that they're here cutting with me. Now, this is not so much a theory kind of educational barber training, but this is more practical, look and learn, get hands on. There'll be times when I throw you in the deep end where I'll just say, unexpectedly, right, you've got a customer coming in and you're gonna cut his hair. So I'm gonna throw you in the deep end. You're gonna have to bring maybe 2 or 3 pairs of spare pants because you're gonna shit yourself 3 or 4 times a day.
If something will happen, you take the car and go.
I can't just let you know.
No, but you have to, bruv. Otherwise you will die also. Like that's I'm talking like the seriousness of the people that we're speaking about. I don't want this on camera, bruv, while I'm saying this, yeah? So I don't, this is a bit dangerous for me to be here. This is the barbershop coming up, bruv. I don't particularly want to be here, man. And look, someone's stuck behind us already. I'm fucking stuck there. Oh, you fucking pricks, mate. I've got to be fast, bruv. I can't be seen around here, really, bruv. Let's jump out real quick, and we're in and we're out, bruv, because word gets around this council estate fast. That was it, Patrick. That's it. That was it, bro. Mad times, bro. Horrible time. That barber shop there destroyed a lot of things for me in my life.
Really?
Yeah, I lost my family, bro, because of this shop, you know?
Shit.
Not even because of the shop, but because of me. I was young, yeah, you know, I thought I could handle that, but I couldn't, brother. I had to stand as a man and say I couldn't handle that. I was stood, bro, like where that white car is now. I've stood there and seen somebody put a screwdriver through someone's cheek. Ooh. Like, I don't really like to be here, bruv, to be honest. Like,
I want to ask you, like, how did you feel there, bro?
Yeah, not good, bruv. Not good, because for me, bruv, like, do you know, I'm not, it's not that I'm frightened, bruv. It's like, I'm angry on myself, yeah? Just being here, like, I feel angry on myself. The wrong person could drive past me, stop the car, and I'm in a war, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel comfortable with, let's just get out of here, bro. I don't want to be here, man. It's too much. Get back in the car, bro. From Manchester, from fucking Birmingham, from these rough and ready neighbourhoods, bro, from horrible council estates. They've grown up to be brought up like animals, and they come here and they see the weak people, and like, where it's a nice place, the bad people can take advantage of the nice place, yeah? So it's easier to sell drugs here. You know, a person from this area in a nice neighbourhood is not gonna put a screwdriver in your face if you owe him £10.
What made you get into barbering, and when did you start barbering?
The truth is that when I was a kid, I was very poor. I didn't have much money. I grew up on a rough council estate in London. My mum didn't believe in taking us to the barbershop and making us look sharp and, like, you know, as if everyone nowadays, the kid, an 8-year-old kid now has got a skin fade with a line. 8-year-old kid, when I was an 8-year-old kid, had a fucking bowl on his head and just mushroom. Yeah, and so I had some friends who had money, and I started to go to the barbershop with them. And I would go with them because I'm hanging about with them. So I'd be sat there like, oh yeah, watching my friends get a sick haircut. Do you know what I mean? I just thought, fuck, I want to change this. So I just sat there and I was like fascinated by, oh yeah, look, how are they doing that? How are they cutting the hair? You know, my mate used to get a number 6. Why not? I'm gonna try that. So I went home that day and I was like, Mum, can I cut my own hair? She said, yeah, no problem. So I got the number 6, number 1, and started to cut my own hair. It looked shit, bruv, do you know what I mean? But I thought I was the man, yeah, I thought I was the man, yeah, but was mad. My mum was saying, all right, okay, you've been cutting your hair maybe 3 or 4 times now, you can cut your brother's hair. So now I'm starting to cut my brother's hair. Did that for a couple of times, and then My friends, now when I was cutting my own hair still, then my friends started to tell me, oh yeah, I want a haircut as well. And they used to get £10 off their mum. So what we used to do is, if you was my pal, I'd say, right, you get a tenner off your mum, give me a £5, I'll cut your hair, and then we've got a £5 for sweets or cigarettes or football cards or something like that, do you know what I mean? So that's how I started to make money from barbering. I thought, right, the barbershop that I keep going in, I'm gonna go in there and ask for a job. And what got me the job was just persistency. You know, I just kept going in every day. Every time they told me that the boss wasn't there, the boss was sat out the back, like imagine the boss being behind the curtain there, you know? And then like you coming in asking for a job and Patrick telling you, oh, I'm sorry, the boss ain't here, come back next week. And then next week you come, but you knew I was out the back, but I just didn't want to talk to you. And then eventually the boss just said, you know what, this kid keeps coming back. He wants a job, I'm gonna give him a chance.
Next time on the Barber Movement, I take Patrick to meet the man who gave me that chance.